Hey yo, E-King's fight news. Jarrell, Big Baby Miller, test positive. Another one, test positive. So the AJ fight in his home backyard in New York is now in jeopardy. It's E-King fight news. We got more on this. Alright, man, that's the news. That is the breaking news. It's coming from Eddie Hearn. Apparently, Miller failed his VADA test, and his status as AJ's opponent is in question. Let's get into it. As reported by Boxing Scene, E-King Fight News. And you know we got more on this. Alright, so Johsua Miller in doubt after Miller fails VADA test. Eddie Hearn hinted that the June 1st date is still on. But we don't know if AJ will be fighting Miller. You know, something similar happened on another DAZN card, but that was because of Billy Joe Saunders failing a drug test, and he couldn't get a license as a result of that failed drug test. He couldn't get a license in Boston. Now in this case, Jarrell Big Baby Miller fighting out of New York. Okay, Hearn issued a statement on Twitter which read, "We have been informed by VADA that there was an adverse finding in Jarrell Miller's sample collected March 20th. We're working on all relevant parties and will update with more details soon. We're in the process of obtaining further information about VADA's finding, and we'll have more to say on this developing situation. In the meantime, Jarrell continues to train for his June 1st fight against Anthony Joshua." It was Miller, however, who failed the PED test nearly 5 years ago when he was also a kickboxer. California State Athletic Commission suspended Miller for 9 months and fined him $2,500. Man, not a good look. Not a good look for Big Baby Miller. Wow. I mean, you know, the one thing that, looking back on Jarrell Miller, yeah, he's got a positive test as a kickboxer, but the one thing I really, you know, I don't want to judge anybody, nothing like that. The dude's a fighter. Give him much respect. But this dude hangs around with too many goddamn bodybuilders, man. If you were to go on his Instagram, you see this guy lifting weights all the goddamn time, hanging around with these bodybuilders and shit. Like you wonder why. Like you wonder what could happen in those kind of circumstances, man. Because those guys are all on the juice, man. Those guys are all on the juice. If Miller be hanging around these dudes all the time, fuck, man, maybe it's just a matter of time. But that's my only one little piece, 2 cents in terms of what Jarrell Miller, you know, in terms of, you know, what maybe is the cause of this shit. Because honestly, this dude testing positive, man, it's a real bad look. I mean, according to Eddie Hearn, take that with a pound of salt. You hear some shit from Eddie Hearn, but he was saying like 80% of tickets already sold. If Miller ain't there, if it's not Miller fighting, they gotta reimburse the fans on them tickets. If the same shit happened with Canelo Alvarez, didn't it? But that was because the Triple G fight was called off. But it's a big fight in New York. If he ain't fighting Miller and you buy tickets for Big Baby Miller, Anthony Joshua, either you're assed out or you better be on the phone right now asking for a refund. Tell you that much. fact, those are, these are the kind of situations where, they might give Big Baby a pass. Who wants to give all them tickets back? We know they don't want to give them tickets back. Or they got or they got to find a suitable replacement opponent that's going to capture the imagination of boxing fans. Whether it's Luis Ortiz, whether it's King Kong Ortiz. You see, you know what? No, I'm going to really bring it back. Because when shit like this happens, sometimes the wolves need to step up. Sometimes the real wolves need to step up. And I ain't talking about Luis Ortiz, even though he should be stepping up. I'm talking about fucking Deontay Wilder. I'm talking about Deontay Wilder saying he's ready to go. That's what I'm talking about, man. Like, and I don't give a shit about all that bullshit, man. Because I saw Lennox Lewis versus Vitaly Klitschko. That got put together because somebody pulled out of a fight. That's why that fight got put together. So, man, all these guys that claim to be old school fighters, make an old school fight. That's all I'm saying. Whether it's Luis Ortiz, whether it's Deontay Wilder, I'd like to see one of those guys step up and say, hey, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go. You want to make a fight in New York? I'm ready to go. But anyways, we all know that shit ain't gonna happen. We all know that shit ain't gonna happen. That's being way too optimistic. So, who's it gonna be? Who's it gonna be, man? Who's gonna be fighting Anthony Joshua? Because off a positive test, if it ain't Jarrell Miller, these waters are pretty thin, man. We know Kubrat Pulev ain't ready. Dillian White? Dillian White could be an option. But he ain't really, he ain't no draw in New York either. But Dillian White could be a legitimate option for an Anthony Joshua fight. In fact, he was the go-to before there was talks about Jarrell Miller. So if I'm Dillian White, I'm making some noise right now. If I'm Luis Ortiz, I'm making some noise right now. I think those are your top two guys. I think Luis Ortiz has more clout in New York. He's more American-based than Dillian White. So I definitely think Luis Ortiz should be a front runner here to land this fight. In my opinion, it should be Luis King Kong Ortiz stepping in. There's no doubt about it. If he's ready to go, I think that's the fight that could salvage the situation. What do y'all think, man? What do y'all think? I'm gonna put this on the live chat, man. Jarrell, Big Baby Miller, what in the fuck happened to this dude, man? I don't even know what he tested positive for. I heard Ego, he was saying it was some shit for endurance, which is kind of funny. It's kind of funny. But you know what? Really bad look for Jarrell Miller. Really bad look. According to that article, it was an adverse finding from March 20th. God damn, we're in mid-April, guys. We're in mid-April. So, the fight's supposed to be in June. And is Luis King Kong Ortiz ready? That's my question. Is Luis Ortiz ready? Is Dillian White ready? Remember, Dillian White's supposed to be fighting in July against an unnamed opponent. Doesn't even have an opponent. Well, shit, man. If Luis Ortiz ain't ready, you can make that Dillian White fight. But you better reimburse the tickets, though. You better reimburse some tickets. Oh man, this is a bad look. This is a bad look for Eddie Hearn. It's a bad look for Eddie Hearn, Matchroom, and DAZN. This is a real bad look for DAZN. But anyways, it's E King Fight News. Smash the like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. More boxing. Y'all know what it is, man. But for now, I'm out, man. Peace.